Broadcasting live from the mixed up world of Hyrule, this is the Link to the Past Randomizer League Season 3. Hello, everybody. My name is Dr. Bobtastic, and joining me today on commentary is Adalor. Adalor, how you doing?
Good evening, Dr. Bob. I'm doing just fine. I'm looking forward to this race. Nice Friday night matchup in our Invitational League. It should be a really good race.
Absolutely. I hope everybody is ready for an excellent race between these two teams. We've got the Bomb Squad on the left featuring ADIrondackrick and Synack, who you can blame for every seed rolled by Sahasrahla, I'm told. And on the right, we've got Pug Trio with Andy and Fouton. And, you know, I've heard of this Andy guy before. He's a guy.
He might be a little bit popular in the randomizer scene. I might have seen a race or two from him before.
Yeah, I'm told all he does now is mystery and cross keys, though. So this could be completely weird.
He definitely does have seem to be chasing the cross keys pretty hard in the ladder, at least in the last season. Honestly, I can respect it. I like cross keys and mystery a lot myself, so I'm down with it.
They are some pretty amazing modes. All right, looks like we are in fact underway. Once again, the double-edged start. We see a small key at the sanctuary and a few bombs to start with from Link's house.
Nice early bombs. Never going to complain. We'll see what our tier 1 pull is momentarily here. Pretty typical. Yeah, you got 2 from Sank, 2 from House. Yep.
It does look like the Bomb Squad went ahead and neglected to start their timers, so or maybe not. We'll see.
We got one running with just single digits, no hundredths. So, and Synack forgot his apparently. Yeah. Uncle's got a lamp for us. All right, we'll take it.
All right. And we're going to get to see our Lumberjack. That's just 300 rupees, so no immediate reason to go to Aga 1. But, of course, for those of you who know what we're doing here, this is an all dungeons run, meaning Aga 1 is going to need to be done at some point.
Yep, we have 13 bosses to defeat in all, and we're gonna take care of all of them.
Though I know a lot of people would prefer to save Aga 1 for the very end, if possible.
Oh, ideally, yeah. You want to have that be your last dungeon because that puts you right on top of the pyramid. You can just drop in again and with no delay. Got a decent amount of money coming in so far. Rick's gonna buy some bombs. Not a bad idea.
Right, our library is just a few bombs, so once again, nothing huge. Other like the lamp is the only really relevant item we've seen so far. And we see a pretty popular strategy nowadays. Fouton and Andy are sort of doing a pincer attack on Kakariko Village because they figure, we'll probably both need to come here anyway.
Yeah, I like it. You've got them hitting from both sides, and then they can meet in the middle, and there's an ether, and say they'll between them they'll know pretty quickly what's even worth checking in Kakariko. Yeah.
So speaking of Aga 1, we found the cape there in Blind's Hut. Also, double medallions.
2 medallions. That's considering what we've seen lately with some shenanigans with pendant dungeons requiring pendants that happen to be in GT. I think these guys are going to be okay with finding them early. Getting a look at Cackwell and Mini Moldrum at the same time. Hope we can keep up.
All right, we've got a Moon Pearl on the right side of Kakariko Well. And ADIrondackrick will pick up the contents of Mini Moldrum Cave. That's a chunk of change. Half magic, yes please. And that's about it in terms of relevant items.
Some good finds so far, though. I mean, it's shaping up to look... We just need Need some weaponry, honestly. We've got some nice things, but we need some weapons.
It's a little unfortunate that the Moon Pearl was in Kakariko while Rick is going over here towards Ice Rod Cave, because you could end up in a situation where with those 595 rupees, you could go check Zora and the waterfall and all that mess. But if you went for Zora now, you would not be able to get the waterfall without that Moon Pearl.
Yeah, with a ton of cash already, you'd like to knock that out, but we'll have to. Maybe it'll be convenient later. I'm sure. Maybe later with Mary can combine it with Catfish.
Whew. Rick takes a hit from a crab there, but manages to keep from dying. And that's going to do it for Southeast Lake.
And he takes a peek at the lake. It looks like it was just a pack of bombs. Nothing exciting there.
Speaking of a pack of bombs, Andy went ahead and bought some for himself. Let's see where he decides to go from here. He's going to get the small key out of Sanctuary. And then I guess he might be going to the front door.
Yeah, I guess he's expecting to, or think he's going to walk all the way through Castle, which, not having a glove, but you want to get all the way into back of Escape, it's not a bad idea.
All right, now Rick is going to go get that lamp. And is going to go ahead and get the contents of this chest. It was just a couple of arrows. Meanwhile, Fouton will be doing the mini Moldorm checks for Pug Trio. Go ahead.
You might look at Lamp and say, oh, why do these guys even need Lamp? That fire rod could be buried anywhere. If you have an early fire source, you're going to take it.
Yeah, the fire rod is... I mean, the fire source is an important thing to get. Because you got to light things on fire sometimes.
Yeah, the moment you have to get to go to the back of desert, but you don't have a fire source, it's like, man, wish I had that lamp. It'd be nice.
Andy with some nice bomb tossing strats there on the Blue Guard. I haven't seen that particular version yet.
There's a lot of good ways to deal with the Blue Guards and bomb escape, but I have not seen that method. I may have to try that out. And looks like Rick is going to be right behind him. Yeah, different setup here. Oh, still got it. Okay.
Now this setup I have seen for Andy's second guard.
Kicks out a big 20. Still nothing exciting.
And despite the fact that I'm sure you could use bombs to kill this next, the ball and chain guard, you'd need more than 5.
I think it takes 8, doesn't it?
Something like that.
It's too many.
Well, I think it's 4, but I'm not sure. But anyways, pots are better. Only takes 2.
Just throw those tempered sword damage pots. It's a lot easier. All right, was it worth it? Yeah, not.
Andy did, end up having to kill the green guard, so unable to take the death warp there.
Synack has given us a look at Sasrol's closet, which I don't think we find anything meaningful there. And now he's going to make an early trip into Eastern.
My guess is, based on the tracker, it might have been a shield, and that's it.
Yeah, not that influential. Meanwhile, Fouton's doing some fake flipper. We've got a full heart on Hobo. Gets the right pixel to jump off and get back into fake flipper so he can go take care of the rest. He's got almost enough Zora money. He's missing 14 rupees. Hopefully he's able to pick that up along the way.
Meanwhile, Rick did manage to take the trip downstairs and managed to die to reach the front again. So a little bit of time made up there.
I think Andy forgot he was going to death warp because he just ended up walking right back in. And Dark Cross is a map, so that means we have 3 items in the back.
Well, all right then. And of course, because the small key was there and the lamp is there, it is a 100% in logic play to do this. because the small key was available in Sanctuary, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's available in the Sphere 1, so yeah, the game will expect you to. It could expect you to do this, and might put something actually important here.
Yeah, in before both gloves here.
I'll laugh.
Well, how about a sword? We'll take that.
A sword and 40 rupees. Yeah, that's okay.
Now, I will say, we have a sword, we have a lamp, we have a cape, and we have a moon pearl. That's your straight up AGA 1 access.
What does that mean? That sure is AGA 1. Zora, for the record today, very expensive scam running just a 3-pack of bombs.
For a second there, I thought you said a free pack of bombs, and I'm like, no, that was very much not free.
Ooh,
But the ledge is in fact a hammer, which is really important.
there's a potential there if any of these guys come up with the equipment necessary to do any splash deletion and flippers are still hiding, you might see them get up there to get that before it's logical, because hammer is a big deal. That could actually be like the difference between AGA for Dark World and just being able to go there through any of the portals.
Meanwhile, Synack finds the hook shot in the big key chest of Eastern. Hello.
Fantastic find. Now all he needs is just a glove, and that's going to make a whole lot of access up to the mountain for a lot of checks.
Yep. Unfortunately, it feels like to me that hook shot is just kind of bait for later when you have to go through AGA and you have to get like a glove or flippers or hammer or something to get up north so that you can cross the river.
Yeah, we're not seeing a whole lot in terms of Dark World access. We've got the Pearl and none of the other pieces. This is it's definitely feeling like an AGA seed. It wouldn't surprise me at this point.
All right. So Synack is going to go toward desert, as is Fouton. We will see what is on the desert ledge. A fairy in a bottle. Not something I would turn down if I had access to it. Unfortunately, both runners do not have access to it.
Yeah, unless we find the book in Aginia's cave here, we're not getting that anytime soon.
What are you talking about? We're going to find a chest containing the flute and 2 gloves in one chest. That's a thing that can happen, right? Nope. No, it is not.
Maybe in our wildest dreams.
Nope, just a refund on the bomb you used to get through the door.
Fire for the course. Just hanging on to some more explosive for us.
I'm not entirely certain what Synack is doing here. Walking out.
He's walking out. He's got nowhere else to check. He's gonna do an overworld glitch. No. He was walking like he was gonna do a ledge clip, and I thought, no, this is the wrong tournament for that.
Yeah. And to my knowledge, unless you're some sort of dexterity god, you kind of want the boots for that.
I mean, you can still do it with frame perfect inputs, but no, you definitely want boots.
Synack is... I see. I think I see what's going to happen. Synack is going to head out to check the Zora stuff because Rick was unable to do so when he was here. He's going to get the 300 rupees and then head up there.
Take care of his fake flipper checks while Rick's going to grab, I think there was just a bomb pack on race game here. $50. Better than a bomb pack, but still not really influential. Yeah, I think at this point we're running pretty thin on checks.
All right, so Andy now locates the hookshot for Pug Trio. I just now realized that Pug Trio is kind of like a Pokemon thing.
Yeah, it absolutely is like a reference to Doug Trio. Yeah, I had a bit
Oh my goodness, I'm such an idiot. Okay.
It took me a bit to figure it out too. I only think I got it yesterday, and I was tracking. I was like, wait a second. Oh. It looks like Andy's going to go ahead and pull the trigger. He is heading for Aghanim. Yep.
Just one time I want to go up to the top of Aga Tower and see that, Sahasrala's brother just sitting there throwing stuff at you.
He's just going to use all these bombs he usually has hanging out in his closet.
All right, yep, both runners for Pug Trio heading up Aga Tower now.
Yep, and sits up here. This is the access. I'm inclined to agree with him. I can't think of anything else we have to do.
Yep, and I like Fouton's Bombo strat there. Just like, you know what? Not dealing with this right now.
Yeah, those ball and chains take eight fighter sword slashes, and you don't really have anything else that deals with them. So it's entirely reasonable, if you ask me. Plus, he's got the half magic, so he's got easily enough to burn on it.
Andy, on the other hand, doesn't have the half magic yet, so I
don't think Andy will ever pick it up. If he has an option to pick up half magic, he generally won't. He's just so comfy without it.
Yeah, and there's no real reason to go to Mini Moldworm Cave right now. But he's going to use the bombos on this room. And that makes plenty of sense because this room is obnoxious.
Yeah, you only got to kill the red spear guards, but they're still red guards. They take I think those also take 8 fighter sword slashes.
I think it's just 4, but
Maybe right.
That being said, it's not that big a deal. Oh, that was just a beautiful room from Andy there.
He actually got really. The hook shot came in very useful there, but he got pretty good RNG there that the guards moved in just the right way.
Yeah, exactly.
Where the first guard just comes up and is just like in my face. I'm like, what do I do?
Yeah, you would not have been able to get that key with the hook shot if the guard hadn't been just right there, because it bounces slightly above the railing there, and then you can shoot it.
Yeah. Andy, with his pretty good execution, Agatar will be first in with Fouton right behind him.
And Synack will be joining the party in the Aga Tower as well.
Rick is busy cleaning up the fake flipper checks. He's going to soon get that information that there's that hammer on Zoral Edge.
All right. There goes Aga 1 for Andy. And because we have the Moon Pearl, we should get a full refill here before proceeding on.
That's our Dark World access. Let's see where these two... Oh, there's our map check. We got a Red Skull, Pendant Thieves, Red Swamp Palace.
I was like, Red Skull, what?
Red Crystal Skull Palace. Yeah, you know.
I was just like, have we gone to, Captain America now? Is that what's happening?
I'm just hoping for a crossover because I think it'd be really cool. Was that a 0, actually? I wasn't quite paying attention, but it seemed like the RNG was very favorable.
Wow. Must be nice. That's all I'm saying.
After, I think last night's race I tracked was a 7. I was like, oh, this is dragging on.
No. Trinix is the dragon.
I don't even know what to say to that. I'm just going to comment on the fact that we've got our initial divergence. Andy's going for pod, and it looks like Fouton was going to... I'm not sure, actually.
Going for a tree pull is what he's doing.
Interesting. Okay.
And by tree, I mean statue. Yeah, he broke. He spent all his money on Zora. He got scammed hard. Gotta have money to get into pod. There we go.
It's the pod money. I was like, my brain went completely dumb. I was like, why does he need money? Oh yeah, for Kiki. Duh. Still needs 9 more, but he's close at least.
Alright, so Andy walks into pod, finds the small key in the first chest, which is literally surprising to no one. And welcome into everybody coming in from SpeedGaming 4. I think there was another league match going on there, but maybe not. But there's a league match going on here between Pug Trio and the Bomb Squad. Andy and Fouton versus Adirondackrick and Synack. So welcome everybody. And joining us right after a required AGA 1 opening, which, you know, I did about 3 or 4 practice seeds before my race this week, and all of those practice seeds and this race, and my race, had required AGA 1, and now this one has required AGA 1 right off the bat. I mean, early AGA 1.
Jeez. I haven't seen too many myself yet, but I will. I'm not surprised, I guess. I mean, when you got to do every dungeon, maybe the game is just like, you know what? If you're gonna do this eventually, why don't I just do it early?
Yeah, pretty much. All right, now Andy's doing, you know, things that are actually impossible.
With very precise movements, actually buffering inputs. You need 1 frame inputs and a very long series of them. He's gonna get this mimic to go in the wall. When he gets it far enough in there, he can just scroll out of bounds, and voila, door's open.
The idea is basically before you hit the pause, you want to hit. I guess it's right because you're pushing the mimic left. You hit that, and then immediately hit pause. And if that happened for exactly 1 frame, then you like hold down or up or whatever as you're hitting pause to unpause, and that will make it a viable strategy.
Yeah, it's the same idea as the potion unlock, where if you get the mimics far enough off camera, the game is just like, oh, they don't exist. They're not in the room, so I'm going to open the door for you. All he gets is keys, though, so he's not really getting anything extraordinary for his efforts.
I have no idea how anyone does unbuffered mimic flip. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I mean, I can certainly pull off 1 frame taps on a single input, but doing that many perfect ones in a row, it's a bit much.
And there's our glove, which is going to grant us access to the rest of the Dark World, basically. I mean, you know, outside of the Mire area, and also Death Mountain.
I wouldn't be surprised if we find another piece of progression in pod here, considering it's literally where they have to be.
I think... No, I don't think. I guess we must have had a 5-key front.
I think so. Yeah, you only found 1.
Oh!
There's a bow.
Oh, that is interesting. So you could take that bow and just go get the hammer.
Yeah, if you've got bombs and arrows, you can splash delete for that.
So Andy's going to grab the boomerang right after Fouton grabs the boomerang, because you know, boomerangs are useful.
It does give you some nice movement options or strats in GT later on. It'll be
That
there.
is true.
All right, synack is not far behind these guys. He's got his glove now, and Rick is a little further behind, just getting the temple open, but he'll be caught up in not too long.
So when you get sort of deadlocked like this, it allows whoever's behind to sort of catch up in your team by not having to check nearly as many things.
Yeah, Rick's got a nice, clean idea of how exactly to route through this dungeon, thanks to synack being ahead, of course. So Rick will catch up with this, no problem.
All right, so it looks like Fouton's going to go clear out Eastern Palace because he's got to go over there and get the hook shot anyway. So with the bow, that's going to do him some good. And Andy is going to do what I was talking about a minute ago and go splash delete for the hammer.
Oh yeah, he wants that hammer, no doubt. It's a big part of opening up a lot of this game. So what he's going to do here in a moment, he'll be basically overloading the game's ability to keep track of a bunch of items on screen with using a combination of bombs and arrows. And when he jumps in the water, it won't be able to do the splash animation, which means you'll just get a fake flipper out of it. It's
very interesting. The splash animation itself is what does the kicking you out of the water. Like it's in the code. And if the splash doesn't spawn, then you don't get kicked out. Also, if you start the splash but don't finish the splash, you don't get kicked out of the water. And that's why the normal fake flipper works.
He did it perfectly. I gotta say, that was a very good, just like first try. Made it look easy. It's not. The timing is very specific, but he made it look easy.
Yeah, the timing on that is, I'm pretty sure the timing is as fast as you can humanly do it.
Yeah, you pretty much
you shoot those two arrows, drop the bombs, get down there as quickly as you can before one of them despawns.
You got to mash out the projectiles and the bombs. You got to mash to get swimming fast enough. It's a lot of buttons. But for his efforts, he's going to go up the mountain. He's got hook shot and a hammer. He's going to be able to do pretty much the entire mountain, at least the light side.
Fouton had a little bit of an issue there in the big key chest room of Eastern. The silly green Igor just decided to camp on top of the switch for a minute.
Like sometimes the game's just got to troll you a little bit. Looks like Rick is also going to head into Eastern. So we're going to have two guys in Eastern Palace clean that up, and synack will probably be doing the same. I don't know. We'll see what synack does.
I think synack might be doing, probably see a catfish play, and then maybe jumping across. Maybe not catfish. I don't know. No catfish.
Let's go straight for West Dark World. That's honestly, I'm not surprised here. This is oh, no, what are you doing? Yeah, okay. West Dark World it is. Yeah, no, I like this. It's you can do catfish whenever you want, really. But the West Dark World's a lot more checks to hit.
Yeah, I think technically that bow is not the InLogic bow.
No, I don't know, because the back of pod is locked by 4 keys, and I don't know if we had 4 keys available in the front without the right.
Well, the bow is in the Harmless Hellway, which I think is theoretically locked by 6 keys unless there's a key in there. All right. Well, Andy has now found where literally all the rest of the money is.
Box had a lot of cash in it. No kidding.
All right. Rick picking up that hook shot, and Synack is in Skull Woods.
Let's look at the island. We've got a red rupee up there. Nothing big. And he will walk across and give us a look into Hera.
With the hook shot in hand, there's a real good chance we'll see ourselves a Hera pot here.
Oh, no doubt. So next, find a bunch of keys, a big key and a small key, and still looking for something good out of Skull Woods, hopefully. Flippers, there they are. So that hammer, okay, so that hammer really isn't that far out in the logic then. You just have to get to West Dark World, and then you can go get your hammer.
So speaking of there they are, the mirror in the lobby chest of Hera for Andy. So now we know where the flippers and the mirror are. So that's, I mean, that's the Swamp Palace care package, right?
Yeah, Swamp is now with, hammer, flippers, mirror, and hookshot completely open.
Well, this is one of those scenarios where it does help to know that advanced logic exists, because until that happened, the flippers couldn't have been there.
Yeah, advanced logic does give us a lot more interesting places items can be, and I am all for it. Because as spectators of a randomizer race, we want things to be as tricky as possible.
Andy just hit Moldorm in the eyes with the hammer.
Well, I'm wondering about that. I'm like, what is the hitbox on this boss? Is it even? I don't think it makes sense at all. I don't know.
I mean, it did not look like the tail was anywhere near that. And I've seen it happen before, but that was weird.
Looks like he's him left. He's going to go into the basement for that long check, but I don't blame him. You're still feeling like you need a lot of items at this point still, and just go ahead and be thorough. It's all dungeons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very few things on the tracker here are optional. There are some.
Nick is now, after having taken care of Skull Woods, he's going to dig into Thieves' Tomb.
Yeah, looks like Fouton actually took a death over in Skull Woods, which is quite unfortunate.
Yeah, it's a long walk to get back there.
Especially when you take a death outside of the dungeon when you're trying to explore it. That's a downside of having a dungeon where there's an outside component.
Moving between the sections, those Ropas, they deal 2 hearts of damage on green mail. If you're not careful, they will happily cause you an overworld death. And Andy, for his efforts in the basement of Hera, finds a shield.
Well, I mean, I like me a fire shield when it comes time for blind or whatever, but especially Andy, is not going to have any trouble with a blind fight.
No, of course not. If I had to put money on anyone to get the blind script right, it would definitely be Andy.
Speaking of blind, we've got Synack in the process of clearing out Thieves' Town.
Looks looks like Fouton will most likely be right behind him here. Probably after cleaning up the last couple checks in the village itself.
Looks like Rick is also going to do that, or going to grab the hammer, having acquired the flippers, that is.
Got the nice logical hammer.
And Andy's about to check Hype Cave. We've got Quack.
After their race from yesterday, I'm sure he's entirely okay with getting Quake now.
And there's the in-logic bow.
Yep. Logical bow and Hype Cave would send you to... I mean, honestly, finding that there sends you to pod at this point. Like, really not a bad spot for it. But yeah, he's ahead of that already. Yeah, that's our third medallion and silvers. That's easily a... I call that a very solid, like... I'll give it a 7. What Stumpy got for us today? Big 20.
All right, so Rick of the Bomb Squad will be heading up to the Death Mountain area, and Synack will be finding the first bottle of the game here in the brewery location.
Yeah, not the first one we've seen, but it is the first one so far we have had access to get.
Oof. Fouton taking a death in the middle of Skullwoods, the Skullwoods big key room. Luckily, that's significantly better than taking a death outside.
Yeah, you die in the entrance here, you're right back at the same room. It's not quite so punishing.
If you die outside of Skullwoods, you die in real life. Not really.
I was wondering if you might see it.
Well, I mean, with a setup like that, what are you going to do, right?
No, you know, 100%.
Oh, hello. Simultaneous cane acquisition. From Andy and Synack at the digging game.
All right, we've got good items coming out. We're going to need that flute and that cane to get into Misery Mire later. Just missing a glove.
Yep, we need a glove, and we need... I mean, to finish the seed, we need, quite a few things. We need Fire Rod and Ice Rod, of course, and that flute, and another glove. But that could be it. We may not need the boots, though our runners would absolutely love to have the boots. The flippers were in the pinball room of Skull Woods.
Interesting point now that we know the flute was in the middle section, the affectionate worst room without Samaria. Interesting that we don't see that from the Bomb Squad side because we've been in there already.
Yeah, I mean, is this like version 26 all of a sudden? Because that's what I remember about 26 is Skull Woods was always the play every single time, all the time.
Right.
Yeah, so all 4 runners here are running the same seed. The 2 on the left, Adirondack, and Synack, are on one team, and Andy and Fouton are on the other team, and they are actually communicating with each other over voice chat and potentially other software for the purposes of sharing information about the seed. And the best average time between the 2 runners wins the race.
Yeah, so in co-op you get to share information. You're basically kind of split up as much as possible. The more time that you can spend not doing anything your teammate has already done, the better, because the aim is to acquire all the information about the game as fast as possible.
Yeah, that division of labor is a huge It's a huge deal for this particular game. There we go. Adirondack Rick has located the mirror for the bomb squad.
Rick is heading down to get his hammer. And on the Pug Trio side, Andy's going to give us their first look into Thieves Town. We've already seen it. I think Synack actually did not. It doesn't look like he completed Thieves Town. I'm not sure how much is left in here that we haven't actually seen.
Yeah. So one thing I really like about the league format this year is you've actually got 3 entire weeks where you have multiple players playing it for each team at the same time. So week 1, we've got this one. Week 4 is the pilot week, where you have a spoiler log and the player can't see the spoiler log and the pilot can't play. And then, of course, week 7, which is another co-op week, using different settings and Randomizer. So yeah, that's a fun time.
Yeah, because every one of these teams in the league, remember, is 3 players on each team. So Andy and Fouton on Pug Trio, they've got a third player in the form of
Weighty words.
Yes, that's right. So yeah, in the co-ops you've got 2 players on each team are playing. There's one probably sitting out watching at least. Yeah, all these teams are 3 players each. Worth noting also that Andy did come across the ice rod in the Thieves Town attic, so we do not have to hunt for that tonight.
Yeah, I imagine. Well, I guess maybe Synack had a problem and left.
It's been a dip of the front 4 just to check it out because he did not have the hammer at the time. He may have wanted to just like let the back be until someone have the hammer and full clear it.
Yeah, fair enough.
He's going to give us a nice, clean blind fight, I'd imagine. Keep your eyes on it. It won't be quick. Or it will be quick. It won't be... You know what I meant to say. The flute was in the middle section of Skullwoods.
Yeah, the vanilla big key chest, for those of you familiar with the original game.
No problem. Andy takes down blind, gets a red pennant for his trouble, along with a map. So Thieves Town is clean.
All right, so Synack is now heading up to Death Mountain, along with Fouton. I imagine both of these runners primarily up here just to get the mirror. Though Fouton also grabbing the sword from Paradox Cave. It's a little unfortunate that the bomb squad never checked the catfish, because that's where another one of the swords was.
Oh, that's where that was. Okay, I missed where he found his second sword. I was like, I knew he had one on Paradox, but okay. Yeah, catfish is fairly isolated. It's tough to say whether either our bomb squad guys will get to that, but maybe we'll get lucky and they can get a sword out of the deal.
So, have I ever mentioned to anybody that post-Aga 1 Light World sucks?
Yeah, that world gets upgraded. It's you get blue and red guards everywhere. These red guards are terrible. They can be faster than you, and it's not fun.
Yeah, what I was noticing is 2 different runners today got blocked by a dead rock just outside of Hera on the right-hand side, which is only ever there in post-Aga 1 Light World.
Easily in the top 3 worst enemies in the game.
Amen. So that is a different strategy than I've seen for the Harapot from Fouton, but it's interesting. Sure works.
Yep, I like it. I like the Harapot. There are a few different ways you can do it. As long as you've got something that's consistent, it works for you, and you can do it fast, I say go for it.
And it looks like we're finally going to get our first dip into Swamp Palace here.
It's been available for a while. Like I said earlier, we've got flippers, hammer, hook shot, and mirror have all been available for quite some time now. So it's I would not be surprised to see major progression in this dungeon, considering how early it's accessible.
Though, if I were Rick and I knew this information from Synack, I might have wanted to go get the Cane of Samaria first to make the little diver down tricks a little easier, but it's still possible to do with bombs.
I see some people who even they do the bomb setup even when they do have Samaria just because it's they think it's faster. And like, as long as you're more consistent and quick with it, go for it.
All right, Graveyard Ledge is just 20 rupees from Andy.
And looks like Fouton's got green pennant. We're gonna.
Oh, we got a glove.
There it is.
First non-trivial chest of Swamp Palace.
I see mitts there strikingly often. It almost makes you wonder if there's a preference for that chest for some reason.
There is a slight bias toward that chest over the rest in Swamp, just because that one's not locked by the hammer and everything else is.
Sure, yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I've been looking real hard into Bayesian reasoning just because of this.
There's a lot of potential analysis to do about this game and where items go based on where the logic puts them, and if there are any patterns. Tons of analysis. Looks like Andy decided he wanted Tempered Sword. I don't blame him. Tempered Sword's a huge upgrade.
I don't know anybody who doesn't want a Tempered Sword, to be fair.
It was a bit of a walk, but like for your Tempered Sword, yeah, I call that worth it.
I mean, maybe if you're running the low percent category of this, but even then, why? Why would you do that to yourself?
When necessary by the seed rules. Otherwise, yeah, you pick up that sword. Looks like Rick is just gonna not opt for any diver strats and just gonna pick up the key like normal.
Yep, certainly nothing wrong with that. All right, so we see Synack is going to go ahead and follow and get that glove here. And Andy will also be entering Swamp Palace, so Pug Trio will have knowledge of that glove soon as well.
I'd expect Synack to split out and go somewhere else here. Knowing what they know, he could head up for Dark Death Mountain, perhaps. I really wish they had the flute out of the back middle of Skull Woods, because he could head straight into the mire area with it.
What I expect from Synack here is he's gonna start walking in, and he's gonna hope that adirondackrick has cleared left side first.
Yeah.
And then once you find out that, you can know that you can skip it.
Yeah, that's quite sound, honestly. Yeah, you're in the dungeon, may as well just head for the back, and then assuming nothing on left side, you can just rush for the boss. Yeah. One's a big 20, and the other one's getting a few seconds here. Another big thank you, left side swamp, for your 40 rupees.
So we will be expecting Synack to just go ahead and beeline it for Argus here.
Meanwhile, on Pugtrio's side in, Fouton has taken out our King Helmusar, obtained another big 20. Do you know there are 28 of those in the pool? They're everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Crystal for his efforts. And he will be right behind Rick and Synack in Swamp Palace.
There are even, there are even more big 20s in the pool than there are pieces of heart, and there's a lot of pieces of heart. And both Synack and Rick not gonna do any diving down here in this dungeon whatsoever.
Being a little bit ahead, he's going to go ahead and check the flooded room. We'll relay very quick to Rick whether it's worth it, and it's not. So Swamp looks like beside that glove in the front is coming up with a whole lot of nothing. Rick's going to grab the hearts at least.
Yeah, he's on he's on half a heart. He's going to come down here just for survival's sake.
He's got to stop that beeping for us.
Yeah. There are many times when I'm playing this game where I will do things literally to, quote, stop that infernal beeping. Speaking of diver down, Andy did a excellent job pulling that one off and gets a quicker check of the west side of Swamp.
Synack will be our first one into Argus. He's got Master Swords. This is going to be a bit of a tedious fight.
Yeah. This is a version of the fight where I like to charge a spin and then shoot it, grab a couple of puffs, if possible.
Yeah, if you can pull off, if you get double pulls on this, it's really not quite so tedious.
Yeah. The worst one is
Rick
in Swordless, where you have to do menu boss.
Yeah, Swordless Argus is one of the worst things in the game. It's such a chore. Especially if you have like a terrible menu that doesn't have a good way to pivot between the hook shot and the hammer. Like this menu is kind of bad actually for it.
And the bomb squad roughly simultaneously finishing off Argus. And we're gonna
crystals at the same time.
Yep. So I'm gonna expect one of our runners to maybe do like the Smith chain, and then one of them to go up Death Mountain.
Yeah, I think Dark Death Mountain is definitely appealing. You've got several checks up there that are possible. I would potentially put that on Synack because you may even dip a little bit into TR while you're up there.
It looks like Synack, however, is going to go ahead and finish Pod first. And he may also turn in that green pendant. I don't think Rick did that yet.
You know to be just a big 20, but yeah, I don't think Bomb Squad knows that yet.
And that is just what Synack is doing. And Rick will be doing the roughly something like 14 or 15 digs for the Cane of Samaria here. Okay, it's like 20. 21, 22.
It's like 20. Not quite 14.
I wasn't counting the first time. I was just estimating based on how many holes I thought I saw. And I was so wrong, it's not even funny.
I think it's a little bit funny.
Okay, maybe it is. So yeah, it did make sense that Rick was the one to go check out the Smith chain, as he still needed to go get the Cane of Samaria as well.
Yeah, gonna combine together as many checks as possible, make some efficient routing.
You know, I wish we could have Ganon Big Key on pedestal.
I mean, if
But
we
unfortunately,
are any key sanity modes in the league, I don't know.
week 6 is definitely key sanity week, and of course there's the mystery week in week 5, which could be cross keys for all I know.
I will always be happy to see some cross keys.
Yeah, last season there actually was a cross keys week, but that was apparently a little too much for the audience. Oh, hello. Adirondack has located our fast footwear from the blacksmiths.
Taking up a job in cobbling this time. And he's going to take the purple chest in an interesting direction here. Meanwhile, Synack is making short work of the Armos Knights with those silver arrows. Gets his Eastern Palace crystal.
Very good point made in chat. Now I want cobbler. I'm hungry.
Oh, right. I get that. I'm sorry. I said a food word. My apologies.
All right. Bonk Rocks turn out to be just another one of those plentiful big 20s.
Well, Andy is going to give us indeed a look at East Dark Death Mountain.
So we're seeing the Super Bunny Cave. So named because you can easily activate the Super Bunny glitch if you don't have the Moon Pearl. In fact, you do it without even trying.
All you gotta do is fall in a hole. It happens automatically. Oh, we've got another bottle in King's Tomb.
With bees!
Bees!
What? A rando seed woefully underpopulated by bees? Anyway.
Thanks, Dr. Bees. We're glad to have you. And here comes Hookshot Cave. 4 more items for us. Mushroom.
Slightly more money in that second chest than the previous one. And there's our powder.
Double fetch quest. Hookshot Cave. I love it.
That is just about the way it goes, isn't it?
Looks like we'll finish off with Spike Cave here too. Meanwhile, Fouton,
oh, go ahead.
Give us a dive into Ice Palace.
Yeah, Ice Palace. You know what they say? If you have bombos and you're looking for the fire rod, it's an Ice Palace. That's the rule.
At this, I mean, it would not surprise me. Yeah, this should be honestly a pretty easy dungeon. He's got Hookshot and Samaria, so you know for sure that you can clear it no matter what route you take.
I expect some broken ice here.
I would think so too. Looks like he's going to take the hit the switch route.
Yep. Now, I've heard a lot of people advocate not hitting the switch if you intend to full clear the dungeon. But that being said, I am not an expert.
Yeah, if you're going to full clear and if you know you're going to find the big key, basically, then switchless tends to be a little bit quicker. a look at Meyer Shed. 10 arrows and
Oh,
not in ice this time.
so much for the conventional wisdom. And Fouton gets that information and just decides, I'm not checking that chest. And then he changed his mind.
Oh, we gotta hit the switch again though for that.
Yeah.
I wonder if that was scary of, oh wait, that's go mode. Wait, maybe not.
Yeah, that you might need like the boots or something, right?
Pug Trio does not currently know where those boots are. Only Rick has been able to find those so far.
So Andy's gonna go ahead and dip into Desert Palace to sort of give us some more information about whether we need the boots or not. And it looks like Desert is not boots locked, so the only way we could possibly need the boots now is if something important is on the torch in Ganon's tower.
We can only hope. Just to answer a question in chat, this is indeed a team thing. So we are in co-op week of our Randomizer League. Each left team versus right team, Bomb Squad versus Pug Trio. Each of the two runners are both playing the same seed and they're probably on voice chat, constantly communicating throughout the seed because they're allowed to share information, and they're going to have to in order to get through this efficiently.
Now, the unfortunate part for Bomb Squad over here, we got Adirondack entering Turtle Rock with neither the Fire Rod nor the Ice Rod. Luckily, he is barred from proceeding from the big key being in that first chest.
Yeah, we know what he doesn't. We know enough to know that digging TR at this point, not really going to be fruitful at all.
Yeah, unless the boots end up being entirely required, I do not see any scenario in which Pug Trio picks them up at all.
Yeah, it's yeah, it'll be a tough ask to see them get that. Yeah, like I said, I honestly, I'm hoping for the torch. Let's get the 1 in 22. Let's see required boots. Let's do it. The boots were on the Smiths today. Also, yeah, good call from chat here. We haven't seen any armor yet. We're running around with a decent quantity of hearts, 9 and 10 between these guys, but still green.
Yeah, and green mail is, much more precarious than you think it is.
I'm sure these guys can get through it. They are in an invitational league after all. They've all undoubtedly done some manner of low percent in this game at some point. But you got to know they'll be fine with picking up a blue mail at some point. No one's going to complain about that.
And it does look like Rick is going to get a consolation prize here, checking Catfish. Going to get that sword.
Yeah, that'll be good news for Rick. That out of the way sword, but entirely worth it, especially if your last one never crops up in some easy to find location, like it's buried behind the big key in GT or something like that, where it's entirely possible to be.
Meanwhile, Andy is starting the play in Misery Mire. So we'll see what the key layout of this dungeon is. That's really all that's important here. Oh, and it is a solidly go-modable mire.
Big key and spiker, and we'll take that. And actually, yeah, that is, I believe, the same mire key layout we got with their race from last night.
Okay.
Just to confirm, as far as what there is a big imbalance here in that Pug Trio does have the flute and Bomb Squad does not, and that flute is sitting in the middle section of Skull Woods, the vanilla big key chest.
It does look like Rick
right
might be
now-
heading there now.
If he's heading for it right now, then we're about to start closing that window of Pug Trio gaining time on these guys. Oh, maybe not.
No, that looks like instead he's headed for Thieves Town. He will be able to get the ice rod out of here.
Yeah, there is one item that Bomb Squad does not know about. They're still missing that. They're missing their fire rod and the aforementioned.
Yeah, that is rather unfortunate that the flute is in the middle of Skull Woods and the fire rod is behind it.
Yeah, because that fire rod would easily push you back to Skull Wood, because then you're like, oh, I can go kill Mothula now, and you're gonna find the other item while you're back there. But it's not great.
All right, so Fouton, having dealt with Desert, now heading back to Mire, while Andy has taken care of Mire. Interestingly enough, Andy already has all 3 pendants, so there's that.
Yeah, we haven't seen a book yet, so there's a possibility of a blind ped pull.
Yeah, I mean that would only happen here if the big key ends up on the torch of GT.
Yeah, no, you're right. They, I think Pug Trio, I think they know everything at this point. Yeah, so probably not, but maybe for the crowd. We can hope, right?
And both all the runners are probably thinking, boots would be nice, could be useful for the thing or for the actual GT, and they still do have to finish Skull Woods, so maybe after finishing Skull Woods you could run up there and check it. I don't know. It does seem far-fetched.
Yeah,
which is a different Pokemon.
It is. It's unlikely, but I will continue to hope that we get a ped check after Skull Woods. Yeah, like I said, you certainly like to have boots. There are a lot of rooms in GT that boots are made really nice. Think about all those bridges you normally dash across. You take those for granted. Without boots, they are a bit more of a chore.
Yeah, the boots are on the blacksmith today.
And the flute, to answer that question, is in the middle section of Skull Woods, the big key chest.
All right, so Rick acquired the ice rod. I still think Rick's next destination is probably Skull Woods. Like, he doesn't have much else to do.
I mean, surely they know they only got one item out of there, and they've got to be thinking about it, like, what if there's one more item in the front that we need?
I mean, unless Rick, assumes that Synack cleared Skull Woods.
Yeah, because Synack was in there first. He did. No, he's not going either. Yeah, because he went there first. He found the flippers and did not go to the middle section after that.
And then Rick just went over there, grabbed the flippers, and bailed because it was in the pinball room, so you can just drop in and grab it.
Exactly. Yeah, he just followed suit. Just dropped in for the flippers, and that's it.
All right, Rick's going to be doing the powder, I think, here.
Of course, the worst case scenario here is that they actually mistrack the dungeon and think that it's clean, which means it's going to be a long time before they get back for that flute.
Yeah, it would be the hottest of minutes. Meanwhile, Fouton is sitting here with only 3 dungeons left to go. Andy has Pod Eastern, has definitely finished Misery Mire. Still has Ice Palace and Skull Woods and Turtle Rock as well.
Yeah, Andy's done a great job being kind of the front runner of getting information for this team. Fouton has, I wouldn't say he's necessarily behind. Obviously, he's objectively ahead. Yeah, they've done a great job, honestly, of subdividing division of labor, as you say, making sure they're both doing different things at all times for as long as they still need to get information.
Now, I'm not going to lie, if I were Synack and I was going into Thieves Town here, I'd have probably gotten the boots first.
Yeah, I mean, knowing where they are and you're already in the area, why not? They're just, as long as you have them, they're just such a nice convenience, and there's always a way to get to do something better with boots.
Especially because Thieves Town is such a great place to use the boots. Oh, and it looks like Rick took a death heading to Palace of Darkness there.
Got eaten by one of the snapdragons, unfortunately.
Is that what those are actually called?
I think that's why you're calling them snapdragons. I'll go with it.
Because that's a great name.
I may have to look up the guide and find the actual name, but I'm rolling with it.
Oh yeah, I literally have like the old like Nintendo Power Link to the Past thing in my office at work. I should just pull it up.
Fouton, are you forgetting something?
Nah.
I guess we'll wait for him to discover it.
Oh, yeah, Fouton, this is not going to work out the way you want it to. Because when you go upstairs from here, the maiden stops following you.
Yeah, I'm going to go back to the basement. At least you realized it. All the way to, yeah, but yeah. I mean, I don't blame him for wanting to go fast. You want to get this dungeon as fast as possible, but you still got to go up here and open the hole. He already opened the hole. He didn't get the ice rod. That's what he forgot. I thought maybe he didn't even open the hole.
Ah, there we go.
That's almost worse. I mean, that's the ice rod. You're going to need that.
All right, so now Synack's getting the boots. Which is definitely nice to have.
I think if anything saves this for Bomb Squad, it's going to be having boots compared to neither these guys on Puncture having them. But I think even then, it's still going to be a tall ask to expect. I at this point, I have to assume they've mistracked Skull Woods. I don't know. It's not. I don't think they have much left.
Unless Synack goes directly to Skull Woods right now. Yeah, I think we may have an issue on our hands here. Maybe they never checked K45 here, so who knows? Alright, so Fouton dealing with blind, Andy just masterfully dealing with cold stare, and Adirondackrick dealing with Helmosaur. We got some boss fights all around. Let me tell you, if you want boss fights, this is the week for you, because all dungeons, you're gonna get a lot of boss fights.
We gotta take out all of them. There are 12 bosses in the game you have to fight before Ganon, and we're gonna see kills on every single one of them 4 times. How do you like 48 boss kills? Sounds great to me.
Yeah. Could even have an optional 50-second.
Oh yeah, no, don't forget the refights. That's true.
Oh, we're not counting any of the ones in GT. And in that case, yeah, it could go all the way up to 60.
Oh wait,
a lot
no,
of
you're
boss
right.
fights.
That's the correct math. It's Friday night. I'm not supposed to be doing math. Andy. All right, Andy's the one who needs to. He's just going back for mod.
Okay.
I saw someone heading to the back of Skull Woods. I'm like, no, wait, that's Pugtorio's site. Never mind.
Though Synack is going back to the area, going back down again.
Or look at Bumper or something. No, he's heading south. Where is he going?
I don't know, but he should try the A button. There we go.
He's got boots, yeah. I mean, I've done it. I've just get the later, like
absolutely. Like, this is something I do literally all the time.
First one's honestly is getting an early flute in the village and forgetting to activate it. It's the worst thing.
All right, so Synack is retracing steps here is what's happening.
Yeah, I think they're at the point where they realize something's missing, and yeah. I'm glad they're at that point. Hopefully it won't take them too long to recheck Skull Woods.
So simultaneous moth fights, and Andy finishing that one off slightly faster than Fouton.
Pad pull, pad pull, pad pull. Now he's gonna flute. Come on, Fouton, show it to us. Give us that pad pull, please. Desert is not boots blocked. We know where the boots are. They're on the blacksmiths. Nope, no blind ped pulls for us today. Oh well.
All right, so Andy will now be heading over to Turtle Rock. We'll get that finished off as quickly as possible, and then we will see the truth about Ganon's Tower.
Can we nail that 1 in 22 chance? I sure hope so. I would love to see these. I would love to see this race turn into, oh wow, we actually need boots, and it would get very interesting very fast.
Because you know that if you see the big key there, the first thing you're doing is you're clearing out all of GT looking for the boots. And that's just a huge waste of time.
Oh yeah, that'll easily be a full clear of the basement. Oh, Synack might be heading to the skull woods.
Oh, here he goes.
And ta-da, there's your flute.
Synack had to pause the brain for a second there. It's like, wait a minute.
Yep, that's been there for a long while, Synack.
Adirondack Rick is dealing with Cold Stare in a rather interesting manner using cape strats. I like it.
Those cold stare puffs deal what? I hit 4 hearts on green mail, I think. It's a lot of damage.
So Andy has located the gold sword on the right-hand side of Turtle Rock here. So that's the last sword.
Was there a key next to it? Did they have to get that?
Yep.
That sword is completely free, not even a problem.
All right, so Synack has activated the flute, should be heading to the mire area shortly, where the fire rod will be in the bomb squad's possession.
And Rick's going to be right behind him. I can't imagine there's much left to do. They're going to be both getting into mire at the same time.
Yeah, Ganon is going to be ever so wrecked this seed with the massive arsenal coming straight at him.
Yeah, gold sword and silver arrows, he does not stand a chance. The only chance he stands, these guys are still on green mail. So if a couple of missteps in that fight could turn very fatal very fast. Who wants a Ganon hug for 8 hearts of damage? I sure don't.
I mean, let's be fair. As things are right now, I could go for any contact.
If Ganon's the only one you can get hugs from, will you take it? Yeah, maybe.
Probably.
Andy opted to. Was that the big key in the lava chest? I thought big key was in the compass room. I wonder why he opened the lava chest.
I imagine he was checking just in case boots were there.
Yeah, I guess so. Just in case. Yeah, he might check Mimic Cave too. Here, we'll see.
Yep, looks like it. Basically, if you're in a place that's awful to get back to, that seems like a pretty good play to me.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, he is ahead. So, given that Fouton's just trailing a little bit behind him here, he may as well be the one to check it. And Mimic Cave spits out another big 20 for us. So we'll see Fouton cruise past that and go maybe for the big chest. What are you gonna find, Andy? The compass. Nope. Fouton's gonna head straight back with him. So they're pretty much in. They're now completely synced up here. Easy.
Very nice.
And that just shows you right there the power of co-op. Having good communication. If you got one guy who's clearly ahead, they can make a couple extra checks. It's average time, so being fast does still matter. But hey, you've got a forerunner, you can make those extra checks. While Synack is taking out Landmos, Rick is going to get himself into mire. He's going to try to get caught up as fast as they can. keys in his possession, he will have to check Laser Bridge. We've got a map and a big 20 for the first two. Third chest, the key. What's going to be the last one?
Ooh.
Blue on Laser Bridge. I don't think anyone's going to complain about that.
Yeah, and as you can see, Fouton went ahead and picked that up, and I would definitely have done so as well.
Absolutely. I don't want to go into Ganon with 10 hearts green. No, definitely not.
I don't want to go into Ganon with 20 hearts green. I don't want to go into Ganon with 37 hearts green, even if that was a thing.
Do we have to go into Ganon? Like, can we just have a pet goal? What if I don't want to fight Ganon?
Unfortunately, I don't think that's gonna fly. Though Synack is gonna fly. He's gonna head over to the mire area again. All right, here comes our final crystal, so it's time to do the thing. Get your guesses in.
There are 22 locations in Ganon's Tower where the Ganon's Tower Big Key, or the GTBK for short, will be. Pick a number between 1 and 22. We'll give some points out to whoever gets it.
And I guess based on the way things are going, we will be using Andy's number here. In whatever order that takes.
He'll be the first one to the tower, so we will go with wherever he ends up finding it.
And Fouton's going to take a mild detour here to get the powder, it looks like.
Honestly, it's a pretty quick pickup. Not a bad idea. Powder will give you a lot of opportunities to heal on the climb. There are anti-fairies everywhere. Very, very good safety item.
All right, so Andy's going right first. Gonna check these two.
Last night, these guys both ended up taking the exact same route, one behind the other in GT. I wonder if they'll do it again.
All right, and Andy is mirroring. We will get to see. Moment of truth. Is this the big key on the torch?
Come on, torch. Give it to us.
Nope.
That's a burrito on the warmer for far too long. Officially go mode.
All right, and Andy is picking up many, many keys, while Fouton has decided to go right side here.
Yeah, I guess, they've given the timing, I guess they're deciding to go ahead and split up and divide this dungeon. Honestly, I feel like probably overall better split up. Oh, there's a shovel. I'm now interested to see what that shovel digs up. I want to know.
Yeah, well, luckily for you, we will find out in the credits at least.
All right, so here comes check number 9, Fire Snake Room. Cane of Burna? Okay, well, a bit late for that, but it's an item we can have.
All right, and Andy coming up on Rando Room.
Through 13. Let's see if we can harken back to our V6 days when the GTBK had a strong predilection for showing up in this room. Not today.
All right, looks like either Bob's chest or the Ice Armos room or Tile room are the locations of choice today.
Possibility of tile. So Fouton has decided to go full right, which makes perfect sense considering you're doing divide and conquer the basement here. He'll actually be the first one to get to Bob's chest.
We're still going to go with Andy's count here, I think.
Yeah, we'll stick with actually. Fouton is decided he needs the path. It's a pretty easy bomb jump, honestly, to get across that. It's a one tile gap, but he'll just take the long walk around. And he finds his mirror shade. Excellent.
And Fouton's like, nope, I don't want no shields.
You can't pay me enough to take that shield.
Bees, small key. Oh my goodness, it's tile room.
Oh.
So this is going to be number 18 for Andy.
And I believe I was actually the fastest to grab 18. 18 is my usual pick because it usually ends up being Bob's chest or the top right in compass room. But you know, sometimes it's tile room.
Well, there you go.
I will happily take my 25 points. Yeah, apparently I have 45 points on this leaderboard. Go figure.
All right. And Andy grabbing the big key from the tile room and heading upstairs.
Well, at least we had an interesting spot. We couldn't get the torch to make the boots required, but at least we got a tile big key. I will accept that.
I'll allow it.
We're going to have both of these guys. Synack's just taking care of the back of Skull Woods. He's got just Turtle Rock left on his tracker. And Rick is right behind him. I want to say Rick has already cleared Desert, considering he's already been to Mire. I can't imagine he's got more than Skull Woods and TR to do here.
All right. Andy in the gauntlet doing what Andy do, which is slash Zazax and take names.
No boots, no problem. He's still making it look easy. No doubt he's done this thousands of times by now, and he could probably do it in his sleep.
I like how he was using the sliding on the ice in that room to his advantage.
Oh yeah, there's something to be said for being able to use your sword slashes to manipulate yourself on the ice floors in this game, because they are terrible. But having that level of control is it's extremely satisfying once you get the hang of it. Yep, Rick is done with Skull Woods. He is on his way up the mountain. Synack is just getting the Turtle Rock. In quantity of dungeons, these guys aren't that far behind, but it's definitely still a several-minute difference.
And a beautiful, beautiful wizard room, or pair of wizard rooms from Andy. Fouton having to take a couple of cycles here on Landmo 2, because sometimes they dodge your silver arrows and there ain't much you can do about it.
Yeah, Andy even stopped to powder the anti-fairy and still managed to easily one-cycle those landmos. So props to him for pulling that off, like making it look like it was nothing. Because when you powder the anti-fairy, the RNG changes for that fight, but he is just unfazed.
So now Andy's opening the chest on the way up Ganon's tower. If I had to guess, he's looking for the boots so he can do his special trick on Moldorf.
Can't hover with the boots. We know they're in Smith chain, so he's not.
Yeah.
We actually have to kill the Moldorm for once.
Yep. And I guess you could do the bounce thing, but how about no?
No thank you to Moldorm bounce. And he'll give us a look at the validation chest. 14 hearts total for him. He's actually got a lot more hearts than anyone else. That shows you just how many extra checks he has managed to get. Just looking for extra stuff compared to Fouton.
All right, so Andy hits Aga 2 with 2 hits, but I think it might have only counted as 1 because they hit it roughly the same time. We'll see if this one counts. Oh yeah, the first one only counted as 1. All right, so Fouton finishing off Trolldorm 2 as Andy finishes off Aga 2 at the same time.
Andy having completed all 12 dungeons. Normally at this point in AD, you'd see them mirror and go straight into Aga Tower, but we've already done that. We needed Aghanim for light roll access, so down again and we go.
And this will be far more slashes than you actually need on Ganon with the Butter Sword, because, as they say, there is no kill like overkill.
You gotta wait for that phase to end, and if you're you gotta kill some time. Like, why not get a few extra slashes in?
I feel like that's going to slow it down like imperceptibly small, like a couple of frames for lag or something.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's not going to matter.
Here, though, Ganon is inserting a bunch of bonus teleports. He's trying to drag this out as long as possible. That's a beautiful setup here. He got the double and an interrupt for the other double. That's going to be it for Andy. He's going to finish off first. We'll get his official time in a moment. Get your GGs in, chat.
And Andy crossing the bridge with an official racetime.gg time of 1 hour, 37 minutes, and 4 seconds. And Fouton will be close behind here.
Having to deal with that same RNG, of course. He's got a bunch of teleports to get through. But not far behind at all, no. Yep, and there's Fouton's last silver arrow. He's going to be clocking in his final time just a moment here.
And Fouton finishing with an official time of 1 hour, 38 minutes, and 10 seconds. Just a little over a minute separating both runners here. And that is going to do it for them. Once again, congratulations to Pug Trio for pulling out the sweep over the Bomb Squad this week. That's 6 points toward the standings.
Yeah, they really they really dominated the seed. I don't think there was ever a point at which they were really kind of like behind anyway. Especially once they had that flute and Bomb Squad was missing that, it was definitely their seed to just kind of run away with it and take that lead as hard as well.
But it was Bomb Squad that was doing the running. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, you always hope in a case like this that that boots would make a big difference. Unfortunately, not big enough of a difference.
All right, so I see Andy in the setup room. We might want to bring him in. I don't know if Fouton's going to join or not, but we'll see. And we are now joined by our winning team pug trio, Andy and Fouton. Congratulations. How's it going?
Going great.
Yeah. Well, my feet hurt.
Feet hurt. Having to walk everywhere. Is that why?
Yeah.
Only you had some quality footwear.
Where was our quality footwear to be obtained?
It was on the blacksmith.
Called it.
Yeah. Yeah. We just started doing dungeons, and after we were in GT, and he's like, it's probably in the smith chain. Yup.
Yep, sure
Right.
was.
I mean, really though, can't blame you. Once you've got enough items to just start plowing through dungeons, like, what else are you gonna do?
And it was definitely the play to make. We noticed at one point, Fouton, when Andy found the fire rod, right? And you were going through Ice Palace.
Yeah, Ice Palace.
And then you left. You left a room like, oh, that's go mode. And then you're like, wait a minute.
Yeah, and then I realized, well, hold on.
And so you
had to redo the room. I also lost track of my Ice Palace dungeon count, and I don't know what's in Ice Tea Room. I don't know if it's a small key or an item, and I cannot remember.
I honestly couldn't tell you either, to be honest. But yeah, we were like, okay, now Andy's gonna go check Desert and see if it's boots locked, and then at that point,
when I was like
it's go mode.
I was like, all right, fire rod, and I was like, all right, I'm booking it to Desert to see if we need boots, and he's like, oh god, I just skipped that chest. And then yeah, we didn't need boots. And then it was just, all right, well, let's hope boots are in GT, and then we checked everything in GT, and there's no boots. But yeah, this was super slow to start. Forcing weaponless back of escape to get to a sword to go do Aga with a cape, and then a hook shot and a bowless Eastern that literally did nothing for you.
And then you had to go get the you bottlenecked it into Aga 1 and the glove in pod, and then finally you could split up again.
Yeah.
But goodness.
Yeah, it was a really nice split up point because we got bow and glove, so Fouton could go to Village of Outcasts, and then I splash deleted for the hammer to do Death Mountain and not isolate a hero, which is the mirror. So I feel like we got mirror pretty early, comparatively.
Yeah, seeing the hammer on the Zora ledge, like that was an instant like, oh yeah, we're gonna see one of these guys splash delete for that, and that will be a huge divergence point. So that was a really good find.
Yeah, I almost ran by it because I was water walking, and I wasn't thinking. I was just thinking, I want to be in the darker water so you can run faster, and I completely forgot to check the ledge and had to backtrack.
Yeah, so your opponent's main downfall was they had a little bit of an issue remembering. I think they must have miscounted items in Skull Woods, because Synack checked it, found the flippers, but never ended up checking the middle chest where that flute was, and that led them astray for quite a while, because they did find the boots, and it would have been a pretty close race otherwise.
Yeah, because I guess flute doesn't it got you fire rod, but that also without the flute, you're not doing that immediately after swamp essentially. So
And never having the fire rod to push you back to Skull Woods, I mean, it was kind of...
yeah.
It was going to be a while until they stumbled upon it, yeah.
But yeah, this is pretty fun seed. This wasn't much better than yesterday's seed time-wise, unfortunately. Like I asked the randomizer gods to, but you know,
So,
it is what it is.
Speaking of yesterday's race, actually, how glad were you to have all 3 medallions so quick?
Oh, I think I said some happy words.
Yeah,
Immediately
Fouton was
on that
like,
bomb
"Oh,
list.
you're gonna want to do all of Blind's Hut." But yeah, it was pretty nice. Like we knew early on that GT wasn't really gonna like. It was very, very unlikely that GT was gonna have progression for a pendant dungeon like super, super early. So it was a very nice feeling, even though the seed was still slow.
I mean, the time given the consideration here is still pretty sick, all things considered.
Yeah, I mean, we did it really well. You know, co-op seeds, you want to finish as close to each other as possible, ideally. So, you know, feels like we routed really well. Fouton was pretty ahead, and then just dropped all of his marbles doing whatever he was doing.
Thieves Town happened.
Oh yeah, Thieves Town
forgot
happened, and
about
I
the
was
ice
like,
rod.
yeah. As he was going through Thieves Town, I was like, "Don't forget your ice rod," and he's like, "Where's that? The attic? I guess I'm going back up there, huh?"
Yeah, we're goofing him a little bit. Like, Fouton, did you forget something?
I'm just glad I reminded him because then he's
Yeah.
like rolling into Turtle Rock. You know, maybe not
Just
really
like
paying
last
full
game.
attention.
Yeah, did you, well, had you ever accidentally had to go back up while carrying the maiden before like that?
I knew what would happen, but I don't think I've actually done it in a race, and I just wasn't sure if it was faster to beat the dungeon or not. I actually considered just killing Blind and then coming back.
Ah, I see.
I legit don't know what would have been faster, honestly. I've never I've never thought about it.
It felt pretty quick to do it that way, so it probably would be fine to not mirror at all.
It's a versus the going through the front again versus going to the basement again.
Yeah.
That's tough to say. I'd have to time that out to know for sure.
All right. So that's going to take you guys to 6 points in the league season so far. Once again, you know, going to be tied atop the division, I'm sure. Still 6 more weeks to go. So what week is going to be your favorite week?
I have no idea.
I
Probably-
honestly don't even remember what the weeks are.
Probably the spoiler open key sanity because that was a riot last season.
Oh yeah, oh that's the best one for sure. I love piloting those; they're so fun.
Last time, we raced Scary Olive was the pilot and Oase was the player against me, and they mismarked a dungeon prize, and they were going into swamp, and I just started yelling at Fouton when he realized they were going into swamp. Because I thought he made a mistake, but it was not the case.
No.
But yeah, those are always fun. Other than that, you know, co-op is always fun. This one's really fun. Randomizer co-op is going to be interesting in the last week. But yeah.
All right. Is there any team in your division you're looking forward to the matchup against?
After week 2, we start facing the heavy hitters in our division. So, I'm pretty sure every division is just like super stacked and there's like no like real bad teams in any division. We have the sexy Ganons next week, which, you know, Yagamoth, Freddy, and Fant are all pretty solid gamers.
Invitational, suffice to say, has a lot of very strong talent.
Yep. Yeah, like on every team has like at least 2 people that are scary and could take a game off of anyone. Essentially, it's a toss up who's gonna make it out of this group.
When Andy started listing the names, because like last league it wasn't as stacked, and I was like, oh, okay, this seems like a good chance to get playoffs. Pretty confident in this one. And then Andy started listing them this time, and I was just like, dude, I'm not gonna win a game.
Interject a little bit here. So Synack got to the top of GT pre-moldrum room, realized he didn't have a small key. He went back into the room and took a death there. He is now having to reclimb from the bottom.
I was wondering what happened. Yeah, that's rough with 3 small keys being in the Stalfos room is just not good for the for having small keys, I guess.
Yeah, he skipped all those. Yeah, he's
I think it was just 2 in there and 1 on the right, but it's close, yeah. And then 1 behind Ice Armos.
Oh yeah, it was 2 of them. Yeah, you are correct.
But yeah, I mean, does anyone actually count key logic in GT?
Maybe if I'm going in and key sanity, I've only got like 1 key I'm paying attention, but
yeah, probably. Cross keys, it can happen.
Just cross keys. Key logic is always the same.
All right, so looks like Rick is about to finish soon. Finished off Aga 2 here. Is there anything else you guys would like to say? Because we should probably let you go when, unless you want to hang around the whole time. I'm not going to stop you.
I'll leave the parting words to Fouton.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Thanks for doing the commentary. It's been a good start to the league. I'm looking forward to the next couple of weeks and whatnot. So thanks for having us.
thanks for putting on a good show for us. You guys put up another solid race here, another solid win. So nothing to complain about.
Definitely well played to both of you. And it's things like this that make me glad I didn't make the Invitational League. So get destroyed. All right. So Adirondack Rick will be finishing this seed rather quickly. Just a couple more hits in phase 3, and we'll be on to the final phase where silver arrows get deployed. And the double for the finish.
That'll do it. And Rick will give us our third finish with an official time of 1 hour, 53 minutes, and 5 seconds.
All right. So Rick will finish that off, and Synack finally getting back up GT after the mishap. Gonna kill the Helmosaurs for good measure.
Oh, you know what? Synack is still on green mail. I just noticed that actually. He did not
Gross.
pick up the blue off of Laser Bridge. I think that might have actually saved him a lot of time there.
Oh, and Synack pokes Trolldorm too. Gets him into the enrage phase here.
Oh, got him. Okay, didn't take a fall.
Synack is having none of this. Not interested.
And we have them here in our room here, in the interview room, while we're watching them finish up.
Oh.
Well, were you frustrated a little bit at that, Chest?
We are the bomb squad for a reason.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I go and I clearly can't count to 2. Like, it's like 1 and then like 5 and then 10 and then 7 and then like -3. It's like,
Yeah.
I don't even know how I like made it out of college.
Yeah, the unfortunate thing pretty much was that Synack was under the assumption that he had found both items inside of Skull Woods when I came back in to grab the flippers, and
Yeah, we
as a
figured that had
result,
to have been the case there.
Yep, and then that was like the key to like pretty much a lot of things.
well, pretty much the key to the last part of the seed, which was getting that fire rod.
Yep.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that was the especially insidious part of it. It was because it led to just the fire rod, and of course, without the fire rod, you're not going to be led back to Skull Woods.
Yep.
Mhm.
So I last location at like a giant doofus. You even saw me like double check myself like in a couple other places, just like going over my work again. I'm like,
Yeah. And all throughout that time, we were just trying to keep moving at that point. Like, I'm going through Ice Palace asking, have you checked this? Have we checked that? Have we checked this? I'm going back into the Palace of Darkness to finish that off because at that point in time, while we're stuck mentally, we're going to try to get things that we need to finish off at that stage. And then at that point, we'll worry about it to move on.
Yeah, you're still trying to be efficient and while being as thorough as possible with your recheck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It just was unfortunate that this was another one of those cases where one thing that was left behind turned out to be rather important. So, that is the case, and in co-op, that's going to kill you every single time.
it's gonna kill you doubly so.
It's going to kill you doubly so, especially when you're up against runners like Andy and Fouton, who excel at many, many facets of Randomizer, and therefore they will not give you many inches to work around or have a chance, so you have to be on your game.
Yeah, I heard they're pretty good.
I mean, like, probably. I mean, I've like played. This is the 3rd race in a tournament that I've played against Andy, and I don't know. I'm 0-3 right now, so.
I have you beat 0-4. Shout out to the 2018 tournament where I lost to him in straight matches. But no, realistically here, it's one of those cases where you're missed out on an item. It's this kind of like a normal mode, like open, like we're doing next week, or standard, and the following week casual, and you have a place that you leave behind, and it's going to eat at you, and you're going to last location it. But the problem is when you're in a team setting, the other team, if they know that item's there, they are getting a bigger advantage of you, bigger advantage on you.
Yep. In co-op, that like you said, it's particularly brutal because you're going to take the word of your teammate that there's nothing in there, and you're both missing it for a while. Something critical like the flute will really get you.
Yep.
It's interesting though, because without missing that flute, this actually could have been a really interestingly close race, because neither of those guys picked up their boots. So with the flute, the boots could have been enough of an advantage to possibly make this your race.
And that was a not a real rough spot where that was. Just I was hoping the boots were going to lead a little bit more than what it did, but again, it wasn't meant to be in this case.
Yeah, we were hoping on the way up that we were waiting for the torch key. We're like, come on, give us the torch key. Please make this a crazy race.
And then it became a torch map.
Yeah.
Yep. Look, sometimes you got to cook your burrito. That's just the way it is.
Now we're just going to bomb the burrito.
Fair enough.
I don't know.
But,
and
definitely GG's to Andy. GG's to Fouton. It's going to be a brutal division. We've got a lot of heavy hitters in this division. And going 2-0 in the first week gives them plenty of momentum. And 0-2, we'll just have to work out the whole next week when we're facing off against Kyung and Ferami.
This is the coach in you coming out here, isn't it? Isn't it, Rick?
No, Rick had to keep me on the rails.
Yeah, Synack had a little bit of a rough time at points, and we saw that death in Thieves Town at that point, and at that stage we're under-equipped. Get out of there. Go somewhere else. Come back later. Oh, hi, Ice Rod.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, with like some other stuff that's going on, I don't want to get into that, but yeah, it's been, it's kind of
and that too, because I know that T Sigma mentioned just briefly that it's been a rough week for Synack in chat, and I'll be honest, when you have things on your mind, kind of focusing on the game is really difficult, and anybody knows when you're dealing with such stress, it's tough to concentrate on playing well, and it happens. But like I said, it was going to be a rough week, but rough division. It's going to be a rough go for a lot of teams that excelled well last season. But you know what? We're here to have fun.
Yeah, it's a fun concept. I've actually enjoyed a lot with like doing all the automation for race time, and then watching the fun and unusual ways like Megawatt and others have been breaking it. So at Megawatt, no, like I think like T Sigma has done like a bang up job on the website and actually providing like the data I need in order to do my stuff with like the bot, and overall like it's been a pretty smooth experience. Like for people watching, we've got something where it opens up the race room for you, sends DMs, takes care of pretty much everything. Like it takes pretty much all the thought out of actually getting the race going.
Absolutely,
and it's something that like it's technology that tech I plan on using for SG Live and also the main tournament as well. And,
did Megawatt cause issues with like escape characters or something there? Is that what happened?
No, it's more basic than that. He rolled it with the wrong episode ID.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it was a match from last season that got pulled.
Yeah,
And,
so les French Canadiens who are in the Open League this time around are sitting there wondering, why are we getting an invitation to an Open or they're in the Open League. They're going, why are we getting an invitation to an Invitational League match?
Surprise!
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful.
I have no safeguards on that, so which I probably should add some. But
don't tell people how they can break your bot further, Synack. They will actually start to do it.
Well, I mean, the source code's on GitHub, so I'm pretty sure it wouldn't be hard to figure out.
Don't give him any ideas.
This is why we can't have nice things, folks.
Yeah, after this, I'm probably gonna be spending a bunch of time fixing stuff. So there's no rest.
Yeah.
Well, I hope if there's some other things bothering you this week, I hope things work out a little better in the future.
The good thing here for Synack is that he's off next week. It's going to be Fred and I going up against our opponents next week, and Synack will be back in week 3 while I take a break.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, it's going to be a good time. not like I'm rooting for you guys. I know you can do it. I believe. And yeah, stuff like that.
We're gonna do our best. Obviously, we're gonna do our best. That's all we can ask to do. We're gonna play our race. We're gonna try to remember that there's 2 items in that dungeon that is normally crystal number 3 in the vanilla game.
I mean, I could just like next week. I could just put an extra key in. It's called what it's 4 keys. There you go. I did that
enough
once.
keys. Skullwoods already has more than enough keys.
So-
Need more.
No, so during V30, right? So what happened was, so SG Live was going to be played without hints. So I made actually kind of what led to Sahasrabot in the first place was that we needed a way to generate practice games without hints. You had to do that through the customizer, and it was a whole pain. So I went and I did something right with that, but I messed up the very first ones. I messed up and I put 4 keys in the pool instead of 3 for Skullwood, so there was only 1 actual item in there. And it screwed up a couple people during a race.
Oh,
It
jeez.
legit just confused people. It's wait.
Where's the second item? Where is it?
Where is the second item at? Yeah. So
So
give me a
real live history lesson here. Beautiful times.
yeah, it's which by the way, speaking of Speed Gaming Live, that's happening what?
It's happening, kicking off in a couple of weeks, but we have something else special that's tomorrow that I think we should plug as well with the SMZ3 Invitational Tournament that Solski's funding.
Mhm.
Oh. Well, I have to thank him a lot for his contribution.
Yes.
Sorry.
Oh my goodness.
I stretched a little bit.
That was a thing. But yeah, apparently there is an invitational tournament for SMZ3 popping up, and if you want to see people who are good at 2 different games play 2 different games at the same time, apparently that'll be starting up tomorrow. So you can look out for that. I'm assuming SG is also handling the restreams for that.
Yep, it's going to be on Speed Gaming 1, the main channel. It's going to be starting 10 a.m. tomorrow morning, and finals are going to be on Sunday. See who walks away with Solski's money.
Ooh, it's like just a weekend long tournament. That's
It's like
That's right.
is it win Solski's money? Does he have to hit a buzzer or whatever and defend his cash? Or
I hope
No,
so.
this
It
isn't
sounds
Ben
entertaining.
Stein's money.
I
Anyways,
like Solski's money though.
anyways,
I like that.
thank you to Adalor and Dr. Bob Tastic for the commentary. I'll be looking forward to watching this back and then listening to you guys groan when we find out that the flute is in the big key chest and we go anywhere but there to get it.
Yeah. Well, once again, thank you to our runners here for putting on an excellent show. I want to thank our trackers who were Duo and T Sigma behind the scenes here for actually dealing with these icons on the screen, which I have a hard enough time tracking myself. So well done for our trackers here. And of course, my co-commentator Adalor, thank you so much for joining me today.
Yeah, it's been a blast. I think this is our first time calling a match together. Been a lot of fun. Looking forward to we got a lot more league coming up. This is only our first week out of 7. There's gonna be a ton more matches here on the Speed Gaming Network. Make sure you're following all the channels, and then the ALTTPR League channels for the Open League. We have a ton of matches to cover, so no doubt we'll be bumping shoulders again.
All right. And with that, I think it's about time to wrap it up. Anything else anybody wants to say? Because otherwise, we're going to call it here. All right. Thank you all for watching. I've been Dr. Bob Tastic, and I'll see you all at a later occasion. Goodbye, everybody.
Take care, everyone.